Welcome back. I'm still with Mr. Peter de Vries. He's the first Secretary of Water Management at the Netherlands Embassy. And we're talking about Indonesia, the Netherlands partnership in water management. All right, so now we just discussed about the land subsidence and then about the flood, how to prevent the flood, the strategies. And then, so it's about the irrigation system, because aside from the hygiene issue, I guess water is all about social issue. So how do you explain the irrigation system where you can apply the system in the Netherlands, and then is it applicable as well in Indonesia?
Yeah, thanks very much for this question, because it's an important issue. We often think that water management is a technical issue which is there for the engineers and those kind of people, but water is a social issue. It is a social good, of course, also. And it is the people and also the government which has to deal with it. So in the Netherlands, already in the Middle Ages, so that is almost 800 years ago, our farmers, they established so-called water boards to deal with
water boards.
Yeah, water boards. That's a central institution in the Netherlands, which are dealing with the management of the water at local level. And you can compare it to a certain way with the irrigator organizations in the villages of Java. They dealt and they still deal with the water. In Holland it is more drainage, because we are all below sea level and we have to get the water out. In the rural areas of Java it is very much irrigation. So our experience, for instance, together with the Ministry of Public Works, with the Ministry of Agriculture and also with the ADB, is that in order to improve irrigation, you need to improve the capacity of the irrigator organizations, and in particular also of the kabupatens, the district governments, because they deal on a day-to-day basis with irrigation issues. Most of the irrigation schemes in Java are small schemes at kabupaten level. There are also big schemes, but about 60% of the acreage is small schemes.
Most of them is small schemes, not big schemes.
Yeah, and the districts, they have the mandate to mandate these schemes. So now if the government wants to intensify, in a way, the investment in irrigation, it is crucial that the district organization is strengthened. So we had a program together with the Asian Development Bank, with the Ministry of the Interior, Dalam Negeri, with Agriculture and with PU, to strengthen exactly that component. So it's capacity development, it is institutions. It's a very important part of water management.
But then huge investment will be needed for the investment to the irrigation.
Yeah.
I see. And then, so it's about the socialization program. You need to give insights as well to the society about water management. So by far, how's the socialization program going? And does Erasmus House hold an exhibition regarding water management?
Now, I think in general, the government of Indonesia and the local organizations, they do the socialization of the development programs, but we share knowledge, we share experiences, and that's why the Netherlands Embassy, and in particular the Erasmus House, organizes from Friday 13 till 27th of March an exhibition about the joint history of the Netherlands and Indonesia on water management in Jakarta this time. This is the first time we do that, and that exhibition will present a lot of historical material about how the cooperation in the field of irrigation, in the field of drinking water supply, and in the field of flood control, water management in the greater Jakarta area has developed.
Okay.
So the Erasmus, it's accessible for free, and it's part of a whole range of exhibitions in the Erasmus House about our common history. For instance, last year we had an exhibition on the railways also in Indonesia.
So it's a yearly exhibition?
No, I think every 2 weeks we have changing exhibitions. For instance, at present we still have an exhibition going on about Diponegoro from the Dutch perception. Among others, the letters of Diponegoro, Prince Diponegoro, to his mother are shown. It's a very interesting exhibition. It is still until next Wednesday, so it's very interesting. So I think it's always worthwhile to go to the Erasmus House, because there are always interesting exhibitions.
It is interesting, I guess. It's about water management, because I think it's the missed aspect for the society about water management. We neglected it for so long. And yeah, I think so.
Yeah. No, if I may add to that, I think it was neglected, and water is a natural resource. Sumber daya air. It is a resource. It's richness in a way. But when you neglect it, it becomes a problem. And that is the situation where in many parts of the world we are now. Java, in particular, is blessed with abundant water resources, and the people have managed to live with 140 million people and using these water resources in a wise way. But I think now we see the system is reaching certain limits. Water is getting dirty, and water is getting scarce also, and that creates a lot of problems.
Yeah, as you know, we need to improve the water management in Indonesia because, water is a basic need, actually.
It's a need, and it is...
People can't live without water. And then so, how do you see the government support on Indonesian government for the water management in Indonesia?
Now, if you see the situation in Jakarta, to take an example, we see since the 2007 floods, which were disastrous, I think the city has taken, together with the central government, enormous steps in improving the flood control of the city, and each year you see the situation improving. And if you travel through Jakarta, on Sundays I often go and have a look. You see these enormous works around Pluit, but also around the Ciliwung River, which is normalized, normalisasi. I think the investments which are being made, largely with Indonesia's own funds, they are impressive. But you should also see, in Holland we also have that culture of investing in water. However, that's a lesson, it never ends. You always have to keep updating your strategy. You always have to do new investments. We had a large disaster in 1953. More than 1,000 people died in the southwest delta of Holland. And we made a big plan, the Delta Plan. And that was only completed a few years ago. And maybe people have thought then if we implement the Delta Plan, we are ready. We have nothing more to do. But then now new challenges have come up. Climate change, still urbanization, changing land use in the whole catchment area, even in Germany. So we have to adapt our water management. So we have a second Delta Plan now to adapt to rising sea levels, to adapt to water scarcity, and to be better prepared for all kinds of disasters. So we have the second Delta Plan, and after that there will be a third. So it's never finished. That is a lesson, I think.
All right, so after all, we hope by the partnership we could improve the water management in both countries. All right, so dankjewel. Yeah, thank you so much for your time, Peter.
Dankjewel.
Yeah, it is nice to have you here.
Great.
That ended our talk show discussion with Mr. Peter Vries as the first Secretary of Water Management at the Netherlands Embassy. We were talking about Indonesia, the Netherlands partnership in water management. And up next, we'll still have some more news and business updates. Stay with Revenews International. Dankjewel.
Dankjewel, it was a pleasure.